Amavanti Firoz Kariama Frava Shashwan Beresau Tam Chesti Frava Shravanano Sheravan Kim Rose Rosas Tamias the Baname Akanoyama Kunamavazuniatar Beresau Mayav the Kasarum Kuravanora Ora Zinkare Kerfoyama Kunamavartar Gavas Hiat Vapadirav Taribaut Ways the Zaikanik Bades the steady one but Ruzan Rusty Bhakti Bout Mundemane Uramas the Vameshas Punanaika Gazarino Anura Beher Chunanaravasta Garomane Metnam Uramas the Metnam Meshanam Spentanam Hetanamania Shamashaunam Beresa Ravane no Sheravan Pagarot Man Pamane Uramas the Vameshas Pundan Pamane Avare Fravashravan Pushes that woman at the God was Zaranya Karatawale said Veman Vamas Haspan was Sergedi Bao Zarin Peshit Paravana Sharavan Deha Are mandi vaun hamar dumano ena sharavan fich gazan maziane matavaun bat kaldaniya thame shiver kavaiti ver kaun acha fratere shaiti chunmi shekor gaun keshit kes boykor ka fras tarshede shanach ke divaun ruzam chunano ena sharavan fras tarshendet Rokiata Ravano ena sharavan kezin geti sis one west third wapur hadaniya remino anakana sazapatyar fratarav Oyano Sharavana Vais the Zaika Beregarot Manpates Nebaut Yav the Kastarum Ker Kare Ker Fekano Sharavan Pageti Kadan Chapas Padedoya Makunam Hamaura Pashiravan Beresa Pargas the Gunay of Fraud was the Manitas the Butke Pageti Pavajarash Netunka Vayas Kaldanoyas Nekepinyas the Roshnidar Vayas Nekeldarimias the Rainidare Dariyat Ayav the Castarum bears in the Ganti Kyora da Rauramas, the Berenides, the Shobedes, Yatazan Yao, the Frinami. Panao Medada Rormas, the Frinchun Pishkao, Hodaiwa Frin Pankatopound, Pindustao, Nasher Mumbai, Kaman Tambe, Normas, the Kodai Padamanikish. Faro, Kwapa, Shumter Bechun, Kai Kushro, Kupmer Bechun, Mariazar, Tushman Zadar, Bechun, Zarir, Hudit Bechun, Shavak, Spami Bechun, Bezan, Asho Bechun, Vistas, Pashao, Zoreman Bechun, Sam Narimount, Hoswanver Bechun, Rustam Nis, Ever Bechun, Aspanyar, Dinyaver, Kuyao Bechun, Jamas, Padane Shechich, Avar Vizan Bechun, Ardaf, Ravash, Rat Bechun, Tester, Charva Bechun, Varan, Vina Bechun, Purshit, Vesh Kerfe Bechun, Jarthos, Tadeti Vashni Bechun, Zaravan, Padashao, Baramanda Bechun, Spandar Mat Zamin, Vesh Paivan Bechun, Nudanavada, Vesh Hambar Bechun, Samistown, Kuram Bechun, Bahar, Upoy Bechun, Mush, Kawashe Bechun, Zar, Rava Bechun, Deram, Kerdal Bechun, Ormans, the Kodai Padamanikish, in Afrin Etane Somai Tunbao Chun Mahao Kurshid Oawat Somai Omar Pomushkoyas Mingulomar Zangoshe Haman Juman Rao Ya Kaman Juman Rao Hazar Sal Zindagan Humar Taras Bao Ezan Buya Gaun Kush Mastash Kunado Kajas Neopax Paramambari Vasnes Kush Vini Out Narasho Farzanda Zayao Kiran Darao Name Barao, Dushman Janat, Hoduda Frozat, Hodaru Data Zamiao, Tafrinami. Haman Zorbada Huramas, thou Kodayava Zunikurze, Haravaziyao, Dava, Shedevis Pesham, Kiam Karam Jay Samyat Pajanas Nekajas, Teganam Pinoke, Darvana Varves Padivo, Duz, Pajadaras Nedaman Ormas, the Flaskarni. Ama Zorbaut, Pamanameshas, Pungurze, Karavazia, Dava, Mago, Shram, Kem, Haramjay, Stamyar, Pajanas, Nesma, Kavit, Rose, Duza, Komanduza, Taromaiti. Ama Zorbaut, Adibeshamesas, Pungurze, Karavazia, Dava, Haram, Sharos, Beram, Kem, Karamjay, Stamyar, Pajanas, Ne. Ruja Zamistown, she's a posh, she's a sponge girl. Ama Zorbaut, Sharavarameshas, Pungurze, Karavazia, Ava kurmeras vananneraun kyam karam jais namyar pajanas nebushians petrenga gavatus asgania dozasha nasne dros ama zorbaut pandar manameshas pangurze karavasiya hava vadin ardamares pan kyam karam jais namyar pajanas nastava dushaim Ama zorbaut kodaramishas punguldev haravaziyav havate stargavadadav fravesh kyam karam jay samyar pachanas nazadivandav tarich wazarich dev Ama zorbaut amaldaramishas punguldev haravaziyav davaras nastajamyav kyam karam jay samyar pachanas tashniya paityara fradumva sudaraman pras karni Avazayau tamya ukramazda vashinau tamya remanama zorbaut kiraun kohana sheikhari purkhari auramazdadaut awai daraun adaraktano kuresh nebarano zarinur faraun hama zorauranda koma zorevanda koma zome parsinda koma zor dema vanda ko Kedarvan miuras pandare bastes teramazor kerosh tastara sheikhari purkhari auramazdadaut Hamazor Chashmagan Munani Avan wrote down Hamazor Auranda Road, Hamazor Vero, Hamazor Frag Road, Hamazor Zarevarka, Hamazor Zarefraker, Hamazor Zarepuiti, Hamazor Zarekianse. Ama zoravane burzit ke vartanavar tum paraste vai vasidar hidin zorodada stan mazar buden Ama zor de dayu vada shen shah Ama zor vazor ka farmata Ama zor aftakesh vazaminar ze save Pradadav shvidadav Vauru pares Vauru jares Kanarat bami Pamiyan zadan Farok tumashatum pashum Yes, they is down Zarathustra, speak the Mauna Shofaroha. Ama Zoratornan Shepavat Hiros Garadaran Shah Tagida Dadar Farao. Ama Zoratestaran Shepavat Tagida Dayaf Tadar Goshas. Ama Zor Firoz Garwas Trioshan Shepavat Kodai Kerfegara Nerbulzin Firoz Gar. Ano Sheravan Pound Ravanera down, Dastu down, Mope down, Herba down, Behedi down, Chashi down, Nehavis down. Yever pain zaminatano man bevadal henano Sheravan Pound Ravane Gayo Maldo Shanmote Muras Jamshi do Faredo Nomino Cherbami. O subete mas pound ke kobat ke kaush ke shavaks ke kushru ke loras ke vistas bammanas panyaran ano sharavan paud ravan zaratushras pitamauna shofaro haravama tornaun testaran vasniyo shano tokshan Dhammaun ke pashemiya zane ki arzaniya namashni wa shadi wa padgani wa neki ashwani mrazandaraya tadar to bimali dushkari vana ki vastaki हर वेश पर क्यारे सुवा कर बे zo zo niro tagiyama vandi firoz kariyama frava shashwan bere saut nam chesti frava shravanano sheravan keim roz rozas tamyas baname akno yama kunamavazuniya ter bere saut Meyav the Kasarum Kuravan Ora Zinkare Kerfoyama Kunamavartar Gavas here Papadi of Taribaut Ways the Zaikanik Bades the steady one but Rutan Rusty Bhakti Bout Mundemane Uramans the Vameshas Punanaiga Gazarino Anura Beher Chunanaravasta Garomane Metnam Uramans the Metnam Ameshanam Spentanam Hetanamania Shamashaunam Beresha Ravane no Sheravan Pagarot Man Pamane Uramans the Vameshas Pandan Pamane Avare Fravashravan Pushes that woman at the God was Zaranya Karatawale said Veman Vamasas Panvaster Gedibao Zarin Peshit Paravana no Sheravan Deha Are Mandivaun Homal Dumano no Sheravan Fitz Gazan Maziane Matavaun Bat Keldania Temeshi Ver Kavaiti Verkaun Acha fratere shaiti chun mishe gorgaun keshit kes boy gorga fras tar shere shanat ke divaun ruzam chunano yano sheravaun fras tar shendat Roki ata ravano yano sheravaun ke zingeti sis one west tar dwapur hadan yare mino anakana zapatyar fratara Oyano Sharavan Ravais the Zaika Beregarot Man Pates Nebaut Yav the Castarum Ker Kare Kerfekano Sharavan Pageti Kadan Chepas Padeldoya Makunam Hamaura Pasheravan Beresa Pargas the Gunayo fraud was the Manitas the Butkepa Geti Pavajarashne Chunkavayas Kaldanoyasne Kepinyas the Roshni Darvayasne Keldarimias the Raini Dare Dariyat Ayaf the Castarum bears in the Ganti Kyora da Rauramas the Berenides the Shobedes Yatazam Yao the Frinami Panau medadar ormas da frinchun piscau, Hodaiwa frin pantal topaun, Pahinustau na share Mumbai kaman tambetun ormas da Hodai padamanekis. Farok wapa shumtar betun kai kushro, Kupmer betun Mariazar, Tushman zadar betun zarir, Hudit betun shavak, Spami betun bezan. Asho betun vistas pashaun, Zoreman betun sam narimount, Hoswanver betun rustamnis, ever betun aspanyar, Din yaver kuyao betun jamas, Padane shetich, Avar vizaun betun ardaf ravash, Rat betun tester, Charva betun varan, Vina betun purshit, Vesh kerfe betun jartos, Tadeti vashni betun zaravan, Padashav, Baramanda betun spandar zamin, Vesh pevan betun nudanavada, Vesh hambar betun samistaun, Puram betun bahar, Upoy betun mush, Kavashe betun zar, Rava betun deram, Kerdal betun ormans, the Kodai padamanekish, in Afrino etne somai tunbao chun mahao kurshid o awat somai omar pomushkayas min gulomar zangoshe Haman Juman Rao ya Kaman Juman Rao Hazar Sal Zindagani Umar Taras Bao Ezan Buya Gaun Kush Mastash Kunano Kejas Neopax Paramambari Vasnes Kush Vini Out Narasho Farzanda Zayao Kiran Darao Name Barao, Dushman Janat, Hoduda Frozat, Hodaru Data Zamyao, Tafrinami. Haman Zorbada Huramas, thou Kodaya Zunin Kurze, Haravazayao, Dava, Shedevis Pesham, Kam Karam Samyat Pajanas Nekates, Teganam Hinoke, Darvanavar Vespadivo, Duz, Pajadaras Nedaman Ormas, the Fras Karni. Ama zorbaut pamana mesas pungurze karavazia dava mago shram kyam haram jai samyar pajanas nes makavit ros duza komanduza taromaiki. Ama zorbaut adi mesas pungurze karavazia dava haram sharos beram kyam karam jai samyar pajanas ne. Ruja zamis down, she's a posh, she's a sponge girl. Ama zorbaut sharavara mesas pungurze karavazia. Ava kurmeras vananneraun kyam karam jais namyar pajanas ne bushyas petrenga gavatusas gania dosasha nasne dros. Ama zorbaut pandar manameshas pangurze karavasiya hava vali naldamares pan kyam karam jais namyar pajanas nastavatushayim. Ama zorbaut kaldarameshas pangurze karavasiya hava testar gavadadav pravesh kyam karam jais namyar pajanas nazadivandav Tarich Wazarich Dev Amazor Bow Namaldaramishas Pungulze Karavazia Davaras Nasta Jamia Yam Karam Jay Samyar Pajanashne Tashnia Paityara Fradumva Sudaraman Pras Karni Avazaya Tamya Ukramazda Vashina Tamya Remanamazor Bow Kiran Kohana Sheikh Hari Purkhari Auramazda Awai daraun adarakhtano kuresh ne barano zarinur faraun hama zorauranda koma zorevanda koma zome parsinda koma zor dema vanda ko Kedarvan miuras panare bastes teramazor gerosh dastara sheikhari purkhari auramazadar Hamazor chashmagan munani avan rodown Hamazor auranda rod Hamazor vero Hamazor frag rod Hamazor zarevarka Hamazor zare fraker Hamazor zare puiti Hamazor zare kiyanse Ama zoravane burzit ke avartanavar tum paraste vai vasidar hidin zorodadastan mazar buden. Ama zor de dayu vadashen shah. Ama zor vazor ka farmata. Ama zor aftakesh vazaminar ze save. Pradadav shvidadav shvauru pares tavauru jares ta kanarat bami pamiane zadan farok tumashatum pashum. Yes, the yes down Zarathustra, speak the Mauna Shofaroha. Ama Zoratornan Shepavat Hiros Garadaran Shah Tagida Radar Farao. Ama Zoratestaran Shepavat Tagida, the Yaftadar Goshas. Ama Zor Firoz Garwas, Fioshan Shepavat Kodai, Kerfegara, Herbulzin Firoz Gar. Ano Sheravan Pound, Ravanera down, Dastu down, Namope down, Herba down, Behedi down, Chashi down, Nehavis down. Yever pain zaminatano man bewadal henano sharavan pao ravan gayo maldo sangote muras jamshi do faredu nomino cherbami o subete mas paun ke kobat ke kaus ke shavaks ke kushru ke loras ke vistas bammanas panyaran ano sharavan pao ravan zaratushras pitamauna shofaro haravama tornaun testaran vastrio shano tokshaun Dhammaun ke Pashemia Zanekir Zaniya Namashni Vashadi Vapadgani Vanekir Shwanimrazandaraya Tadalto Bimali Dushkari Vanaki Vastaki Harvespa Patyare Shwakar Beshahi Bereshauni Nafrino Etane Somave Ananjumanaun Betinana Vazuniatar Pakamba Ayaf the Kastarum Beherzinega, Nikiora Dadaro, Hamasabarani Resta, Araman, Darvanas Yover, Sitamanas, Distanam Yak Sherpa was unbound. Ayaf the Kastarum, Kerada Vatbound, Ras the Gofrikan Pout, Dana Padeshabout, Dustana Padeshabout. Din Bemas de Yastan, Pav Takesh was Aminavazian Bow. Out Jashne, Urvaraun Vakshasne, Zordayaun Pachamashne, Mai Machrao, Manashne, Gavashne, Kunashne, Ras, the Flarun Bao, Kian Berandao, Sarpamal Danrao, Padesh, de Startama Padesh, Nihatar Bunniatariat Bao, Ayo Pageti, Ayo Pamino. Ano Sheravan Pau, Dravan Zarathustra, Spitamauna Shofaro Haravama Tornaun, the Testaround, Vastri Oshano Tokshan, Ramaun Kepinyasa, Fras Residence Vinyasa, Beramadan, Bergaraftan, Harkamira, Zatavistakam, Estaroshan Karospani, Padira. Afla Zamanan Kerfe Bevasiya, Bava Shumugunaya Bunbesvat, O Getabout Sarpazamash Devasiya, Ravaun Garosh Manibao, Ravaun Garosh Manibao, Ravaun Garosh Manibao, Asho Bederti Atazamya Kafrinami, Umatanam, Huktanam, Marastanam, Yadacha, Yadacha. Mayres karnis Maita Noas Mayres Mosh Namis Zangaram Mesha Shinam Radha Minister Indaya Baurin Bauda Menel Kasana Zatusarim Shad Barailur Bau Yabari Kudao Kudavandalam Men Jumanrao Haman Jumanrao Ba Farzanda Nazar Salder Bedal Sal Bedat Kandaros Kibara Bedal Barsarazanian Salare Bishalva Kamishman Bakya Pamara Zara Nazara Fimba Sal Padas Nebat Rosparok Bat Mama Barak Bao Chanin Sal Chanin No Chanima Bishal Salar Chanari Ajash Nashne Aradi Ochavarasna Shaida Havara Mat Naro Kerpe out Kandaros Kibao Neki Bat Kutta Daidun Zaras Bayazam yo taratu shashat chitacha Mange ustasda maningo shotenana mange hushmazai Shadrim chau purai aim de gopyo dadat vastarim यथा हुर्यो यथा रतो शशाथ चेत च Vangyostasda maningo shotananam angyahusmasdai Shatrim cha hurai haim dregobyo tadatvastarim Hashem vahu vaistemasti ustasti ustamai Yat ashai vaistai Hashem Apam Vanguina Mazdatanam Hare Duyav Apo Anahiyav Ashonyav Vispanam Cha Apam Mazdatanam Vispanam Cha Urvaranam Mazdatanam Snautrayasnai cha Vamai cha Snautray cha Prasastaye cha Maro Taure Mazdao Spitamai Zaratushrai Yejashne Mehim Spitama Zaratushra Yam Haredvim Suramanahita Peretru Frakam Beshezyam Videvam Aurotakesham Yasnam Anguye Astavaite Adu Fradanam Shonim Vatvo Fradanam Shonim Gaito Fradanam Shonim Sheto Fradanam Shonim Gangu Fradanam Shonim Hashem Vahu Vaistemasti Ushtasti Ushtamai Yatashai Vahistai Hashem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please થોડા આગળ આવો જી. આગળ ઘણી જગ્યા છે. પ્લીઝ પાછળ ના બેસો. આગળ આવો જી. ને અહીંયા ચાસણી બી છે તે જરા ચાસણી બી એન્જોય કરો જી. કોટવાલ હવે મોનાજાત ગાશે. He prefers to stand here and sing. તો એક 2 મિનિટ થોભો જી કે બધા બેસી જાય. પ્લીઝ જલ્દી જલ્દી બેસી જાવો જી. Ladies and gentlemen, તમે બધા હોશંગ ગોટલાને તો ઓળખતા જ હશો જી. દરેક મહિને આવા રોજે ભીખાબેરામના કુવાની ઉપર જશન કરે, લેક્ચર કરે, એ બી અમને આવેલો છે. વેલકમ હોશંગ. આપણા બોમ્બે પાસી પંચાયતના ટ્રસ્ટી સાહેબો છે, ઝર્ક્સિસ દસ્તુર છે, હોશંગ જાલ છે. A big welcome to them also. આપણા મિકી મહેતા છે. બધાને મિકી માઇસ કરી દેશે. પ્લીઝ જલ્દી બેસી જાવો જી. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Okay, Mr. Jamshed Kotwal is ready to start the Monajats. Let's pay attention and enjoy the Monajats. Thank you.
લેવડો અને હંમેશા સ્પંદો દાદા ઓરમદના હેલ્પરો માનવામાં આવે છે. એ બધામાં પણ સરોજ યઝદ સૌથી અવ્વલ નંબર ધરાવે છે. તો એ સરોજ યઝદને યાદ કરતું એક ગીત તમારી સમક્ષ રજૂ કરું છું. Yazaduma, Yazadatu, Yazaduma, Yazadatu, Sauti Awal, Yazadatu, Yazaduma, Yazadatu, Sauti Awal, Yazadatu, Pati Mandi Saate Vritti Ashokare Yazadatu, Pati Mandi Saate Vritti Ashokare Yazadatu, Yazaduma, Yazadatu, Sauti Awal, Yazadatu, Pati Mandi Saate Vritti Ashokare Yazadatu, Sarvama, Yazadatu, Sauti Awal, Yazadatu. करिए याद हमें तारी, करिए याद हमें तारी, सच्ची रहना रफ्तारी, करिए साध अशोतारी, करिए साध अशोतारी, सुंदर छवि अस जगन्यारी, ओ नवर कलाकारी, ओ नवर कलाकारी, करुणर भूषण अशोक जगदतो, अशोक जगदतो, कोटि जोड़ गुणीनो, अशोक जगदतो, अशोक जगदतो, यजदो यजदोना यजदतो, कल्पि अव्वल यजदतो, यजदतो, रात्रि विनायक आपे तारी देवी मदद, आपे तारी देवी मदद, रोजो नदीन जगत, हम रोज याद जगत जगत, हम रोज याद जगत जगत, फुलदानी तो खुशबू जगत, सुरतानी शान जगत, सुरतानी शान जगत, गदोष दाने को कीर्तन अशोक जगत को, अशोक जगत को, हर पल में सेवानी तुझ मन, अशोक जगत को, अशोक जगत को, यजदोमा यजदो, कल्पि अव्वल यजदो, यजदोमा यजदो, कल्पि अव्वल यजदो, पति नंदी साथे वृत्ति अशोक जगदतो, पति नंदी साथे वृत्ति अशोक जगदतो, यजदोमा यजदो, कल्पि अव्वल यजदो, यजदोमा यजदो, कल्पि अव्वल यजदो, 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 यजदो। થેન્ક યુ. અને હવે પછીની મોનાજાત છે જસમે અવંગે મસદાનું ટ્રાન્સલેશન. મદદ કરો મુજને ઓ દાદગર ખુદા. दादगर खुदा, मदद करो मुझमें ओ दादगर खुदा, दया करी दूर करो सर्व आपदा, मदद करो मुझमें ओ दादगर खुदा, मदद करो मुझमें ओ दादगर खुदा। एक खुदा बची अवर ताल मार छू, मैं गुरु जो उठे चाल मार छू, ये ईमान में तभी ताल मार छू, उगता 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 तुम करनी दुख हरनी हर जगनी करिस तू सदा, मदद करो मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा, मदद करो मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा, मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा। मुझ ईमान निशान करूं छू, भावे दिन आज हूँ सर्व इकरार करूं छू, मुझे ईमान निशान करूं छू, भावे दिन ना दया सुनी जरूं छू, करता 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 नित काम यति नाम शुभ काम लई सताएगा, मदद करो मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा, मदद करो मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा, दया करी दूर करो सर्व आपदा, मदद करो मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा, मदद करो मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा, मदद करो मुझने ओ दादगर खुदा। થેન્ક યુ. અને હવે પછીની મુલાકાતમાં આપણે અશોક જરતોફ પેગમ્બરને યાદ કરીએ અને એમને વખાણનારું એક ગીત રજૂ કરું છું. જગતમાં સૌથી ન્યારો છે અશોક જરતોફ પેગમ્બર, જગતમાં સૌથી ન્યારો છે અશોક જરતોફ પેગમ્બર, અમોને દિલથી પ્યારો છે અશોક જરતોફ પેગમ્બર, જગતમાં સૌથી ન્યારો છે અશોક જરતોફ પેગમ્બર. न भूल से आज जगत जो न पीता राह फरमानो फिदा थई जाश एना पर हमारा जीवन जानो भगवता नो किनारो छे अशोजन भूत पैगंबर जगत मां सौથી न्यारो छे अशोजन भूत पैगंबर मनसनी मेघवसनी थी विचारो पाप करनारा मनसनी थी हमारी जिंदगी में प्यार भरनारा धरती में सहारो छे अशोजन भूत पैगंबर जगत मां सौથી न्यारो छे अशोजन भूत पैगंबर अमोने दिल से प्यारो छे अशोजन भूत पैगंबर जगत मां सौથી न्यारो छे अशोजन भूत पैगंबर Okay.
Lovely Mona Judge. Thank you, Jamshedji. Thank you. Friends, I have a quick announcement to make. You can tell all your friends that if they were unable to be at this function here today, they can watch this entire function on YouTube. On YouTube, this is called Ava Parab Celebration. You can also view it on Google Meet, your choice. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I request Mr. K.C. Limatwala to please escort Vada Dasturji, Khushet Kekobad Dastur, and Edward Cyrus Dinsha Darbari to the dais. He's coming. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The Jashan was superb. Superb. Wonderful Jashan ceremony that they conducted earlier today. Do you know, friends, that the Ava Parab Jashan was started nearly 50 years ago by late Dinsha Merchant, late Rustamji Kuka, and others. This function has been well attended over the years. We welcome every single one of you to this event. Again, special welcome to the Honorable Trustees of the Bombay Pasi Panchayat. Mrs. Ava Merchant, thank you very much for being here with us today. We could not organize this Jashan function for the last 3 years because of the COVID pandemic. You will agree that this is an absolutely perfect location for the Ava Yazad Parab. Isn't that right? એનાથી better કોઈ બી જગા છે આવા યઝદનું પરબનું જશન કરવાને વસ્તે? નહીં. This is the very best place. We are very grateful to Ahura Mazda and to Ava Ardavishur Banu for having given us the strength and the vision to organize this event again after so many years. After Dinsha Merchant, Rustamji Kuka, Kavasji Edenwala, and others passed away, there is a group of individuals who have been organizing this event with finance and support from good-hearted community members and institutions. We were really apprehensive if we would be able to organize the Jashan this year, mainly due to the mounting financial costs and whether we would get the same type of attendance that we have been getting in the past. But today, we are really very, very, very happy with your presence. And I say a big thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. A round of applause for all of you. We are overwhelmed by your presence and by the financial support that we have received from our community to organize today's function. This has encouraged us to continue organizing this function in the years to come. The management of the Radio Club has over the years given us tremendous support for which we do thank the Radio Club. I now request Mr. K.C. Limatwala to please address the gathering. Mr. Limatwala is a practicing CA and an arbitrator. He spends a lot of time on several social, religious, and charitable organizations which he heads. He is also a very humble person, so he has told me maru lambo introduction nathi karvano. So over to you, Mr. K.C. Limatwala.
Time, Khurshid Dastoor, Speaker for the evening, Edward Cyrus Darbari, Mrs. Zareen Commissariat, and my co-organizers, Mrs. Bhaktawar Merchant, Mr. Kersi Commissariat, and Sarosh Dinsha. Wala Amdino, ladies and gentlemen, we are organizing this function, as Zareen said, after a hiatus of 3 years, which we could not organize due to the pandemic. And I would like to welcome all of you all to this Ava Ardavishur Banu Yazad celebration dedicated to the waters of the world, which supports and nourishes all life on earth. Zoroastrianism believes in going through nature to nature's god, Ahura Mazda. We go to Ahura Mazda through nature. And this religion is a very environment conscious and friendly religion. Environment conscious and environmental friendly religion. The divine beings, as you know, the Ameshaspans, look after each of the 7 creations and elements of nature, including humans. Spenta Armaiti, which is Aspandad, Ameshaspan, is the protector of Mother Earth. Mother Earth takes all the waste and garbage and converts it into food by way of fruits, vegetables, grain to sustain us. And it is said that Mother Earth cried to Ava Mazda to relieve her of her sufferings. And in response, Zarathustra was sent. That is why every Zarathustri is supposed to bow down to Mother Earth when he gets up the first thing in the morning and recite an Ashambhav. Similarly, as you know, other Ameshaspans look after the other elements. Ormas, humans, Brahman, Ameshaspan, animal kingdom, Adibase, fire, Sharevar, metals, Amadad, vegetation, and Khodad, under whom Ava Ardivisur presides over the waters of the world. And mind well, it, Ava Ardivisur is the only divinity which presides just not over water, but is described as an image, and whose images and statues existed in the Archimedean and Sasanian times. It's the only divinity whose images and statues were there. We realize how precious water is today, ladies and gentlemen. Between countries, there are disputes over use of river waters and over dominance over the seas. In our country, it's not just between countries, even between states. There are disputes between two states over the use of river water. As you know, between Maharashtra and Karnataka, the Kaveri river dispute. We think water harvesting is a new age concept. We think this is a new age concept, water harvesting. But ladies and gentlemen, this water harvesting was practiced by Zarathustris ages back in the villages and cities of Gujarat, where they used to build underground tanks called takas to store water during the rains to be used all year round. As you know, we have wells in Fire Temple because well water is used in higher liturgical ceremonies. And water has the power to hold celestial currents and spiritual energy. It is also meritorious to dig wells, and as we all know, we have the famous Bikaberam Kua for the benefit and use of society. Unfortunately, we humans do not respect nature today. We overuse or misuse nature on account of carelessness, greed, or ignorance. And by doing so, we are heading towards a catastrophe. We have ceaseless carbon emission, mounting undegradable waste like plastic and thermocol, uncontrolled mining, radiation from telecom towers, rampant deforestation, and I can go on and on. With the result, today what is happening is we have unseasonal rains. Just 2 days back on Jamsheddi Nowroz, we had heavy showers in the morning at 6 o'clock, something unheard of. And this happens all the year through and everywhere. And we have climate change, global warming, clogging oceans, glaciers melting, sea levels rising, and extinction of crops, plants, animal life, birds, and marine life. Most important, a health hazard, ladies and gentlemen, due to the change in the ecosystem and the thinning of the ozone layer through which we are getting the UV rays where we shouldn't be getting it, which leads to very hazardous diseases like cancer. This is all due to our sort of encroaching on nature. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may say, Mother Nature is again crying today, and nature has unleashed the COVID pandemic, brought the whole world to a standstill and on its knees to awaken us to see that we don't have this spiritual disconnect. We need to learn that we are not isolated beings separate from God, universe, and nature. There is a balance in nature. It has its own healing mechanism, provided we don't disconnect and disturb the process. There is a world order which we all refer to as Asha, which we have to respect. The message, ladies and gentlemen, is that what is happening is not good for any creation on earth, including humans. And what we need to learn is unity with nature, oneness with nature, and respect for nature. Water, earth, air, fire, vegetation, animals, birds, insects, marine life, they don't need us. They don't need us. We need them. They can exist without us, but we cannot live without them. And this brings me to the famous lines of Hubert Reeves, a French Canadian astrophysicist. And he puts it this message wonderfully. He says, man is the most insane of the species. Man is the most insane of the species. He worships an invisible God and destroys a visible nature. I'm again repeating, he worships an invisible God and destroys a visible nature, unaware that the nature he is destroying is the God he is worshipping. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Very much for your very interesting talk. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is Bada Dasturji Kushet Kekobad Dastur, whom I respect very, very much, whom our entire community respects very, very much. And when you respect somebody so much, you have to listen to them. He just told me to keep his introduction short. I don't promise to keep it very short, but I will tell you some unusual things which I was interested to know about him today. So, some of the professional associations with which he's actively connected are he's a Zoroastrian member of the National Commission for Minorities, Government of India, from 2017 to 2020. Honorary President of the World Council for Religion of Peace, Lindau, Germany, since 2018. Chief organizer of the Ransha Udwada Utsav, a biannual festival showcasing Zoroastrian culture and heritage, which we enjoy so very, very, very much. He has made presentations, given lectures at all these places. 2005, gathering at the 5th World Zoroastrian Congress in London. 2009, benedictions at the 6th World Zoroastrian Congress in Dubai. 2010, lecture series across North America and Toronto. 2011, invited, received and felicitated the current Honorable Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, amongst a gathering of 5,000 Zoroastrians in Udwada. 2013, inaugurated and addressed the 7th World Zoroastrian Congress in Mumbai, where he presented a paper on historical chronology of Kisse-e Sanjan and the Iran Shah Atash Behram. 2014, he delivered a lecture at the Ontario Zoroastrian Community Foundation in Canada, which was telecast live. He was a speaker at the People's SARC, Interfaith Meet for Peace, Harmony and Solidarity in South Asia. 2015, keynote speaker at the Society of Scholars of Zoroastrianism Conference in Chicago. 2019, invited to guide, supervise, and officiate higher religious ceremonies for establishing the first ever Atash Kadeh on Western soil in Houston, Texas, USA. 2021, speaker for Bahumata webinar on Ashimbahu and spreading happiness. He has received countless awards and honors worldwide, not just in India. And since he's been standing there for so very long, I am sorry, I will now stop right here. And I will request Mr. Kaisi Limatwala to please welcome our Vada Dastoji Sahib with a garland. Mrs. Bhaktava Dinsha will welcome his wife Havavi with a bouquet. Havavi is seated right here. And Vada Dastoji Khurshid Kekoba Dastur will now address us. Thank you.
I don't think this was a short one. The organizers of this wonderful function, Mr. Kaisi Limatwala, Kaisi Commissariat, Sarosh Dinsha, of course not forgetting Mrs. Bhaktawar Merchant. Today's speaker, my friend and colleague, Erwin Cyrus Darbari, and Amara Wala Hamdino. Today, we are blessed that after 3 years of pandemic, we are sitting here and able to attend this function. And we are unfortunate that we have lost our dear ones who are not here today. So we thank Dada Raura Mazda. We thank Awad Vishurbanu. We thank Yezadas and Amesha's Pans to give us a healthy life and to move on with the times and do good things and uplift our soul so we can achieve the Garotman best. Wala Hamdino, खुश नसीब छे आपने कि आपने जरतोस्ती धर्मनी अंदर जन्म लीधो. You will be surprised to know this. That Prophet Muhammad was born during the time of Noshirwan Adil in the Sasanian dynasty. And he said, कि शुक्र ताला ए खुदानो કે મારો જન્મ નોશેરવાન જેવા આદિલ પાતશાહના વખતમાં થયો. So in the same way, we can say that we are really proud to be born as Zoroastrians. And what is our duty as our Zoroastrians? Is to revere nature. As Firdoshi has said very nicely, Magui ke atash parastan budan, parastan ne yazdan atash budan. Don't call them the fire worshippers. It is through fire that they worship the Mazda. આપની દરેક પાંચે પાંચ ન્યાસો, ખોરશેદ ન્યાસ, મેર ન્યાસ, મહાબખ્તાર ન્યાસ, આવા ન્યાસ ને આતશ ન્યાસ. It's all in the praise and glory of each and every elements of nature. And it is through all these elements of nature that we attune ourselves with our Mazda. And it's so nicely taught to us that there is no idol worship in our religion. Though nowadays we do some sort of idol worshipping by garlanding the Jarto Sahib pictures and garlanding our forefathers who have departed from this world. I think we should little bit control over all these things. આપણે આજે બી દરિયામાં ઘણા જણાએ ફૂલ નાખ્યા, નારિયેલ નાખ્યું. Instead of that, let us stand and pray the Ava Nyash. That will be much more worthwhile than polluting the water and polluting nature. દાળની પોરીનો ટુકડો તો પાણીમાં જવો જ જોઈએ. But it's not right. These are all concepts which we have to come out of it. તમે પાતશાહ સાહેબની સાલગ્રહના દિવસે જોશો તો એટલા બધા આપની લાગણી છે, હું કોઈની લાગણી નથી દુખાવા માંગતો. એટલા બધા હાર જરતો સાહેબની સબીની ઉપર હશે કે છેલ્લે વનનું મોનું બી ધંકાઈ ગયું હશે. And imagine if you are to stand with all this હાર ને ટોરા ગરામાં પહેરીને તો તમે કેટલી વાર ઉભો રહી શકો? So it's a burden. Don't keep a burden on a person who has given us a wonderful religion, and especially not a prophet. I will not take much of a time because I know my friend Cyrus is going to run through a beautiful, give you a very nice knowledge on Jashan ceremony. But just a request, try and understand our religion with an open mind, with a vision. And I appreciate this vision of late Dinsha merchant, Mr. Iracha Kuka, Kawazi Dinsha, and few of these wonderful Jartostis who started the Ava Mah Ava Roj and Farwadin Mahino Farwadin Roj Parab. If we can't do the charity, if we can't do anything else, at least let us partake in all these functions and take the blessing of those divinities. With that, blessings to you all. The તંદુરસ્તી અને આબાદી ભર્યા રહી આપણે પાછા આવતે વર્ષે મળશું. અતઃ જમિયા હતા આપણી.
Thank you very, very much, Vada Dastuji Sahib. અમારી બધાની તરફથી તમુને ને તમારા ફેમિલીને બી તંદુરસ્તી. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Friends, our next speaker is Ervat Cyrus Dinsha Darbari. He is indeed a very, very unusual person. Mobed Sahib, who is so much into infotech, etc., etc. His CV is so very, very, very impressive. And sir, with your permission, may I make it just a little brief? Nahi ji, etlo nallo nahi tha. Say sorry, sorry. Yes. Moon bhi joni કેટલો સજ્જો આજે છે, એટલો beautiful છે, right here. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Okay, so Ervat Cyrus Dinsha Darbari is an ex-student of the Dadar Athonan Institute. He completed the Khode Avastha, Yajasne and Visparad in the shortest possible time of 2.5 years. He underwent Sampurna Navar at the tender age of 9 years. He is a gold medalist from the DPYA High School in Dadar. And now listen to this. He secured second place in mathematics in the SSC examination conducted by the Pune board in March 84, out of 150 marks, how many do you think he got? 149. Yes. Was that just a guess? Good guess. What a mathematical genius. He holds a degree, BE degree in electronics engineering and an MA in Avastha Pelvi from the University of Mumbai. He is a trustee and joint secretary of the managing committee of Athonan Mandal. He is a committee member of Jathosti Anjuman Atashberam, trustee of Kavasji Mohammed Dharamshala at Tarapur. He is a practicing priest at St. Jijipai Dadapai Agyari and at Dungarwadi. He is one of the very few priests who can recite the Farokshi prayer by heart. He tutors and guides budding youngsters to become Nawar and Martab. He is a faculty member of Sir Jamshedji Jijibai Jathosti Madrasa for Avastha Studies, and he teaches the twin ancient languages of Avastha and Pelvi to university students and delivers talks on the occasion of anniversary celebrations or at religious gatherings. He conducts religious quiz programs. And that reminds me that he has told me that today, at the end of his talk, he's going to ask us 2 questions and there'll be prizes for the correct answers. He is on the core committee of empowering Mobbits. He's a member of the panel of judges with the Bombay Parsi Association and Iran League. But by profession, listen to this, friends. He is Vice President Sales with Ashtech Infotech Private Limited, where he is responsible for designing high-end data-centric solutions for industry verticals like banking and finance, manufacturing, media, and pharma, including hardware clustering, storage, virtualization, network solutions, backup, disaster recovery, business continuity sites. It's endless, friends. It's endless. He deals with products from leading companies like Hewlett Packard, Dell EMC, Oracle, Cisco Systems, Symantec, to name just a few. There are many more. Friends, Mr. K.C. Limatwala has requested me to welcome Erwat Cyrus with a garland. And so, here I go. Friends, I owe a public apology to Sarosh Dinsha. I'm sorry, I messed it up. He was the one whom we had earlier requested to present the bouquet to, to Havovi. But now I request Sarosh to please present a bouquet to Mona's wife of our speaker. Mona's is also very shy. It took great efforts from my side to bring her into the first row. Thank you, Monas, for coming into the first row. So, friends, now over to Erwat Cyrus Dinshaw Darbari, and he will address us on significance of Jashan ceremony and its prayers. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Zareen Commissariat. Respected Dastoorji Sahib, Reverend Dastoorji Khurshid Dastoor, other members of Bombay Zoroastrian Jashan Committee, led by Mr. K.C. Limatwala, Mr. Sarosh Dinshaw, Mr. and Mrs. Commissariat, and various other members on the panel, worthy trustees of Bombay Parsi Panchayat, other dignitaries on and off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank Mr. K.C. Limatwala for inviting me to be the keynote speaker today. Thank you, sir. Friends, we all have been gathering here for the last 50 years, as Dastoorji said. And as always, a gambar jevo mahor upo thai છે. In layman terms, if one asks what gambar is, the prompt answer which one may expect from the audience is a place where there is free food. So while it is partly correct that yes, Gambar today is known to be a place for free food, but otherwise the very word Gambar, it comprises two parts, Gha or Ge, as we say, the time or season, as we have the boy devan or time in a particular day. So that is Gha. And the second part is Ambar, which means to gather, which means Gambar means seasonal gathering for kind of celebration. Now, Gambar actually has to be a place for pray, eat, drink, and marry. Fortunately, at the Ava Yazar Parab, we continue to have the prayer part also in place, unlike only the part of eat, drink, and marry. While that does not mean I'm talking about Gambar more, my talk today is more about the Jashan ceremony, significance of Jashan. Jashan ceremony, everyone would know that, yes, it is a prayer of thanksgiving. Every Zoroastrian would want to have a Jashan done at least once a year in their home. And that could be, it comes in two flavors essentially, which is a Kushalinu Jashan, as we did today, or it could be an Anushay Ravannu Jashan. And these are part of outer liturgical ceremonies. Now, there could be various the reasons for having a Jashan done. So, if it is the Anusheravannu Jashan, possibly it is for celebrate, I mean, on the death anniversary of a departed soul, of our near and dear ones, or during the Mukta days, Farvardigan days, Gambar days, that is when we do the Anusheravannu Jashan. And the Kushalinu Jashan, it could be done for various other purpose. In the sense, it could be a general jashan for thanksgiving to Dada Mazda for any kind of wish which is fulfilled or yet to be fulfilled. That is when we call for jashan. If there is a new office setup, new bungalow, new plot. So there are various reasons why the jashan is to be done. Anusheravan, everyone would know, which is for the departed souls. I have just listed out the various purpose of doing a jashan, and there are various particular deities or users which are to be invoked. So starting with any kind of a basic celebration or thanksgiving, the deity or user is Dada Mazda. But then there are for certain specific reasons, if you want to call for a jashan, if it is a new office setup or a foundation stone laying ceremony for a new plot bungalow, then we would want to invoke Aspanda Ramesha Aspan. So we do a remembrance or a Jashan Karda in memory of Aspanda Ramesha Aspan. Similarly, if we want to invoke fire, it could be Adar Yazar, invoke water as we did today, it could be what Ava Yazar Jashan. If there is a need for arrival of rain, then we would invoke Teshta Tir Yazar. Similarly, if there are legal battles which we are fighting in court and we want justice, then we would invoke Mayor Yazar, who stands for justice, promise, everything. If there is a normal Anusheravan, we call Varvadin or Arraf Ravas Jashan. If it is any kind of victory celebration, we call for Behram Yazar, because Behram Yazar is meant for, we say Behram Yazar Pirojgar. Firozgar means victory. It seems in the good old times, when each of our kings of the old ancient dynasties, Peshwarian, Kayanian, Sasanian dynasty, when the kings would go out in warfare and come back victorious, they would set up some kind of a fire temple as a kind of remembrance and a thanksgiving to Behram Yazar. Similarly, if we want to have a kind of general joy, peace, happiness, then the Yazata is Ram Yazar, which is why we do, we call it Shadi Ramashni or the Varat ceremony, which we do a few days before our wedding. This is in memory of Ram Yazar. We also have our own Yazar when it comes to elevating oneself out of any financial trouble for general prosperity. We have our own Yazar, Mino Ashishwang. So we may invoke the deity Mino Ashishwang instead of, we notice some people going to Siddhi Vinayak temple and bowing to different. Yes, we do respect to everyone, but we have our own deity whom we can invoke. So that's about different deities or the kardas, what we invoke in our Jashan ceremony. Now, whatever the talk that I'm going to give or the Jashan which Dastuji Sahib prayed in the evening, it has a plethora of blessings and wishes. We may not imagine unless we go through the presentation or we understand what are the prayers. We may not know how many n number of blessings and wishes are actually being recited by Dastuji Sahib, Mobed Sahib. So just I have caught upon a few paragraphs out of the entire portion of the Jashan, And I listed close to about 120 and 130 odd blessings and wishes which Dastoji Sahib would actually call for the sponsors. Each of the seven Ramesh Aspan, as Kersi Sahib talked about, they are they are a part of, they are representing any of the Jashan ceremony, starting with Dada Roram as the Mobir Sahib priest. Dada Roram is the presides over mankind. Same way, Brahman Ramesh Aspan takes care of animal kingdom. So we'll have milk products as part of the Jashan ceremony. Representation by Addibesh Hameshaspan is like fire. None of our liturgical ceremonies can happen without fire. Shareva Rameshaspan actually is responsible for the creation sky, and by extension, sky means it is related to metal. So whatever the metallic humchi, chipi or chamas that we have, it's all representation of Shareva Rameshaspan. The place where we sit is a connection with Mother Earth, responsible for Aspanda Dameshaspan. Korda Dameshaspan is water, and Amada Dameshaspan is vegetation, which means your fruits, flowers that we use as part of Jashan. What are the prerequisites as regards the start of the Jashan? So Mobir Sahibs would start with a Kasti prayer, and then the appropriate Gay, Sarosh Bach, followed by the actual prayer which would start. So it starts with Atash Nyash as the first prayer, followed by Doanam Sitayashni, and we'll have at least invocation of basic 3 deities or 3 yazards. That's the minimum. But as I listed various Ram yazard, Mino Ram, Mer yazard, we can have a 4th or a 5th deity which is invoked. So we call them as different kardas. Now all this ceremony, Jashan ceremony, we consider them as part of a liturgical ceremony. Essentially, we divide all our ceremonies as being inner liturgical ceremony or outer liturgical ceremony. Inner liturgical ceremony is something which we do within the confines of an Atash Beram or Atash Adaran. That is within the Pavi. If you have noticed, many a times we would be visiting the fire temple and Mobir Sahibs are praying within the Pavi. And even a Zoroastrian would not be allowed to enter that area while the prayer is on. So that is what we call as inner liturgical ceremony. And the examples are Bath ceremony, the normal Bath Jafargan Farokshi which we conduct, or of Yajashna ceremony, Whisperer, Vannidar, part of the Vannidar or Nurangdin ceremony. All those are part of inner liturgical ceremony. And outer liturgical ceremony is like the Jashan ceremony which we do today. That's part of the outer liturgical ceremony. I'll start with some of the paragraphs and blessings which are part of Atash Nyash. There are very good blessings which Mobir Sahibs would want as a desire for the sponsor who wants to have the Jashan done. So one of the paragraph of Atash Nyash is starting as Sauche Buye Amiyan Mane, Mat Sauche Buye Amiyan Mane. There's a whole paragraph. And what it talks about? It talks about the wish of a worshipper. If a worshipper, a normal person, any lady is praying, he will also wish for himself. What a Mobir Sahib is patronizing and praying for the sponsor. So the meaning of this particular phrase is, make fire continue to be burning. Where would you want it to be burning? In an Atash Beram or an Atash Adaran or even a fire Atash Gadga. And the wish is that may fire continue to keep burning. So it is a responsibility of we all Zoroastrians put together that we have to keep funding all our Atash Beram, Atash Adaran. Whenever we go, maybe a kind of small donation at any point of time, so that the Atash is sustained till eternity. We are talking of a word called Frasho Kereti in this particular paragraph. Frasho Kereti, or as we know as Frashogad. What is Frashogad? Frashogad is a time when the entire world will undergo some kind of renovation. Now, as you know, as Kersi Sahib said, there are a lot of disturbances within the world. We have witnessed the COVID, and there are a lot of other disturbance around violence, jealousy also. So all the things possibly will stop one day, the day of Frasho Kereti. And by extension, whatever that we are saying, that may fire continue to burn. At the same time, if you think a little out of box, what it indicates that we ourselves, we all want fire within our body for sustenance. The moment we don't have fire in our body, the person dies. And even for you to run your home, you require to cook food, which means you require fire to light, so that you can cook food. How can you cook food without you getting a proper steady flow of income? So in a way, what Sauche Buya paragraph tells us is that may we continue, the worshipper, may the sponsors, they continue be getting some kind of a regular income, whereby they can have the fire being lighted in their residence. So that's a very nice paragraph, Soche Buyamya. There are two, three other paragraphs. One paragraph talks about the kind of qualities that we would want for ourselves and for our children born in our family. And there are a lot of adjectives as regards the qualities that we want, starting with may the children be having an active life, efficient life, may they be energetic, full of energy, may they be very intelligent, wisdom, and by virtue of using their intelligence in the right way, they can become famous leaders. By using their fluency of tongue, they are able to imbibe certain knowledge to the masses, and thereby they can bring general prosperity to the entire masses, be it in the community or for the entire country. So that's the paragraph. And one last paragraph, which is part of Atash Nyayesh, and usually I will find my children of Dada Ratonan Institute as a kind of welcome address to our chief guest every year. We recite the prayer Upatva Hakshoit Geushmatva Upaviranam Paurutas. Very nice, beautiful paragraph. What it talks about is the kind of blessings that uh, the Mobile Sahibs think about the sponsor. That may you continue to have herds of cattle and may you have brave children born in your family. Now, one may say, why, what will I do in the city of Bombay? Where will I keep all the cattle, cow, everything? But this Atashni has been certain prayers. They are prehistoric in nature. Those were the times when we did not have a monetary exchange kind of mechanism. It was more of a barter system. So a person would be considered more being happy, rich, staying in happiness, someone who has lot of these domestic animals. That's the kind of message that we have. And one liner, Tao Shapano Yao Juvahi Imbatatro Afrivanem. So which means there is a blessing for each of us that whatever the n number of nights and the days that we pass through this material world, may each of them be very happy for us. May each of these days will be joyous for us, everyone. So that's the hidden blessing wishes from Atashnias but the Mohammed Sahib's prayer. Moving on to the core prayer of Jashan ceremony, will essentially at least it is advocated to do at least about 3 Afghan kardas, what we said, that is invocation of 3 deities. And then it is followed by 3 Afrin prayers. Afrin prayers means they are prayers of blessing or benediction. Afrin prayer, when it comes to Arda Pravash Jashan, it would start with Afrin Karda in memory of Farvardin, or we say Arda Pravash. So Arda Pravash as a Karda or Afargan is what the Mobile Sahibs would start with. And therein we kind of remember the particular person in whose memory whatever the Afargan or a Jashan prayer is being conducted. Alongside that, we also remember all the Ashofarers of our prophets, Zarathustra, followed by various stalwarts of the Peshtarian, Kayanian dynasties. And then there is a kind of Farmayashne. Farmayashne means the prayers, it talks about some kind of an return give blessing. So may those blessings reach the people who are sponsoring Farmayashne. Here we talk of a small paragraph. Hama Pravash Ashwan Hafta Keshwar Zamin Arja Hai Savay Fradadavsh Vidadavsh. So these Arjay Savay, there are 7 continents. There is a reference about the 7 continents of Mother Earth in this prayer. And what it means is it encompasses and we remember the Ashofarers of the entire 7 regions of the earth. So that's the Mandan prayer we are talking of. And once Mobile Sahibs all they start praying together, there are some 4 beautiful paragraphs of Afrin Arda Pravash, which is actually the essence of the celebration of Muktad, the practice of Muktad that we do today. It is very closely related to the text of Afrin Arda, Afargan Arda Pravash. So it starts with the prayer saying Ashauna Munguish, Surau Spentau, Pravashayo, Yazamaide, Yav Visad Avayanti, Hamas Patbaidam, Paitiratum, Atatra Vicharinti. What it talks is the Farohas, Ashofarahs of our near and dear ones, departed souls, they come to this material world during the time of Hamas Patbaidam Gambar. Now, Hamas Patbaidam Gambar coincides with the 5 Gatha days, which are part of the Muktad days. So, there is a clear reference about the practice of Muktad that we have today. And here, while they are over here, they are being welcomed in the homes and in the fire temples where they are to be invoked. So the next question is the Ashofarohars, they are asking, it's like the question answers, ko no stavat, ko yazaite, ko fiat, ko frinat. So what it tries to tell us is that Ashofarohars, they are inquiring whether when they are called and welcome to this material world during the 10 days of Muktar, are they who will praise me, ko no stavat, or who will worship me, ko yazaite, ko ufiat, means who will weave a song, sing a song in the sense that how Dastuji would be playing in a very nice singing tune so that it is pleasing to our ears. So that's what the Ashoparors are inquiring. Ko ufiat. Ko Freenath. Freenath means who will welcome me, who will respect me, give me all kind of love when I'm over here. And further, it is talking about કહેનો ઈદા નામ આગઈ રહ્યા. So it is inquiring કે મારા નામથી as an individual will there be prayers invoked, or I'll be just categorized in the generalized scheme of things. Anushera, I mean the Anjuman table. So that's what the Ashofarers would want to know. They would actually yearn for that they would have a separate Muktar table for themselves. And they would want these prayers with Gomata Jasta Vastravat. So that's the practice of our Siyav, Muktar no Siyav apne kahiye. Vastravat is means our clothing. And the offering is Gomata Jasta. Gomata means any kind of milk products. So they would appreciate we putting milk and milk products as part of the Jashan or the Afargan prayer. And it's not that just the Ashofaras, they would want everything from us. In return, while they are departing after the 10 days of Muktar, they kind of give a lot of written gifts to us. So the paragraph talks of Buya Tammi Mane Geuscha Matva Upavira Namcha, Buyat Asuscha Aspo Derejashcha Vaksho, Buyatna Stayo Vyakno. What it means to say is that while that Ashofaras, if they are pleased by the kind of welcome done by we Zoroastrians, then at the time of their departure, they are again talking of blessing us with the herds of cattle, brave people, brave men, and we are talking of Buyatnas. There is a word called Aspar related to fast horses. Again, the same way of thinking that in the earlier times we did not have the BMWs and the Mercedes of the world. So horses were the means of communication. So the blessing given to us is the chariots and the horses. Same way, if we move instead of the Anusheravan, if you want to have a Kushalinu Jashandan, there is a little different text that we pray. So I've taken a Karda which is similar like Dada Rauramas the Karda or the Karda for any other users. So here the explanation and the blessings given is a little different from Afargan Arda Fravash. What it says is Zamya Nitra Ashaona Mangoi Sura. It talks about the Ashofarers being welcomed whenever we do a Kushalinu Jashan anywhere. So we welcome the Ashofarers to that place. And while they are coming with a plethora of blessings and wishes. And the phrase that we have, our Western phrase is Danu Drazanga Vare Bare Zanga. So what it's Danu Drazanga means the amount of blessings that they carry, they are as far-reaching as it encompasses the entire area of the earth, or it is so many that it covers the entire area of sea that we have, or the number of blessings are so high that it reaches Khurshid Bala, that is the height of the sun. So many blessings are coming our way when we invoke these Ashofarors as part of any of the Jashan ceremony. The same kind of text repeats in Dham Yazar, which is the second Karda also. And there is one more good Karda, I mean good paragraph, 4-liners. It talks about Vainit Ammi Mane Srausho Asrushtim, Akshtish Anakshtim, Raitish Araitim, and Armaitish Taromaitim. So what it says, Ke Mara Germa, Vainit Ammi Mane. What I would want to have is Srausho overpowering Asrushtim. Srausha means Sarosh Yazad, or there are various adjectives like discipline, obedience. All these are part of Sarosh Yazad. So may in my house obedience prevail over disobedience. Srausho Asrushtim. Then we talk of Akshtish, Anakshtim. Akshtim means we want peace of mind in our house. We don't want any discord or any quarrel. So that is Akshti over Anakshtim. So may Akshti prevail over Anakshti. And then Raitish over Raitish Araitim. Raiti is charity, generosity. We Zoroastrian community, everyone, we are known about the practice of donation, generosity, philanthropy. That is what all our forefathers have done all through. So may generosity prevail over avarice. Avarice means just hoarding money for ourselves and not putting them to use. So that should not be our motto. Raitish Araitim. And then Armaitish Taromaitim. Once you have all these good things, where Armaiti prevail. Armaiti means noble-mindedness, devotion instead of all kind of jealousy prevailing. So that should not be the case. And then Arshukdo Vaksh Mithoktem Vachimasha. Arshukdo Vaksh means may the people staying in my house or wherever the prayers are done, may people have true spoken words instead of lies, utter lies. So that should not happen. So that's the kind of blessings or wishes that we have. Moving on to the third karda is Sarosh karda. Sarosh Yazar is very important to us because Sarosh Yazar is an angel which takes care of mankind, be it in material world or even in the spiritual world. So it has a different status vis-a-vis all other Yazars and Ameshaspans. So Sarosh Yazar has to be invoked in each of the ceremonies. If you notice the first 3 days after passing away, after a person passes away, all the prayers are invoked in memory of Sarosh Yazar only. So there are various adjectives related to Sarosh Yazar. The very word Sarosh is derived from Avestan word sru to hear. And then sru becomes srau and a noun suffix sha is added. So srausha means obedience, discipline. Those are the adjectives. In Sarosh Vadi Kardatan, we talk of yo, dano, diso, dania, which means Sarosh Yazar is the revealer of our religion. And it is supposed to be the messenger. The way we have mobile phone to talk to anyone, in a way, all your prayers, there is Dada Rauramazda in the spiritual world through Sarosh Yazar, which is why each of our prayers they start with Sarosh Bhaj, at least a minimum Sarosh Bhaj. Just about three kardas of the Saroshesh Vadi are part of our Jashan prayer. And here we talk about the paragraph karda number 2, which talks about Barsam. Now, Barsam is a very ceremonial implement. આપણો એક આલાત કહેવાય, મોબેટ સાહેબનો એક આલાત કહેવાય. The way we have Padan. Padan એક બહુ મોટો important આલાત છે for મોબેટ સાહેબ. It should not be misused. Same way, the Barsam is part of any of our inner liturgical ceremonies, which I said. Now, Barsam is mentioned over here as Yopoyo, Baresma, Trayakshtisha, Panchayakshtisha, Haptayakshtisha. So it talks about different types of Barsam used for different ceremonies. Barsam, in the initial times, it was a kind of a twig of some particular tree in Iran. Now, those twigs and trees are not available anymore. So what the Mobet Sahibs use currently in each of our Atashveram or Adaran is metallic wires. And there are specific number of metallic wires to be used for different ceremonies. If it is a general bath ceremony, we use 5 metallic wires, and they are all tied using a metallic chain, which we call as Aivyangana. And same way, if we have Yajashne to be done, then we use the thin metallic wires, 23 in numbers. If it is only that, we use 35 such metallic wires. It seems in the good old times, during the demise of a particular high priest or a king, we were using barsam comprising 9 wires to do the bath ceremony. So all those are mentioned in the Sarosh Karda, and the height was Akshnoscha Mahyopaitis Tanascha, which means the height of the barsam was something up to our knee in the olden times. Now that it is cut short and we have about 6 feet ka metallic wires what we are using for barsam. So that's about Sarosh Karda. And at the end of this, we have prayers which are called Afrin prayers. And there are 3 beautiful Afrins we talk of. Afrin Ardaf Ravash, Afrin Buzorg, Afrin Ardaf Ravash, Afrin Buzorg, and Afrin Hafta Ameshaspan. Again, Ardaf Ravash, so it is more or less similar to Afghan Ardaf Ravash that we have. But here also, I'll just talk about a few paragraphs. The very word when we start Afrin is Hamazor. Hamazor is the first word. Or you would have noticed Mohammed Sahibs doing Hamazori. So what is Hamazori? Hamazori is something like a formal handshake. When we meet anyone in a formal gathering, it is by virtue of a handshake. And what does the handshake actually talk about? It says that, yes, we two are in agreement to sit down and work out something. We are in agreement. So that's the kind of agreement that we have, that yes, we are in agreement with the nature, mother nature, and all the kind of creations of Dada Rauramazda. We praise all the creations. So those are part of the different afrins that we have. Here I'll talk about the Afrin. It talks about some 3 plus 6, 9 categories of Atash. Hamazor, Adaran, Atashan, Adar Gushaspa, Adar Khordad, Adar Burzinmer. So I'll just briefly tell you a few about some of these Atash that we talk of. Atash, Adar Gushaspa. Gushaspa is again a combination of 2 words, Gush and Aspa. Gush, as we say, Gush Gush karvu, kanma koine baat karvi, whispering. that is Gush, and Aspa is horse. So this is a story about King Kekashru. King Kekashru was venturing out in battlefield to fight the enemies, and it had turned dark. He could barely see anything. So he just invoked Adar Gushaspa as the fire, and some two small flames. It appeared around the ears of the horse that he was riding. By virtue of this flame, he could wade through all kind of darkness and overpower the enemies. So Adar Gushaspa was then consecrated by King Kekashru. Same way we have Adar Burzin Mer. Adar Burzin Mer was a miracle shown by our prophet Zarathustra in the court of King Vishtas when he was accused of different things by the Devayasni people. That is when Zarathustra had to show Adar Burzin Mer. And then there are Atash, Dastuji recited about the six categories of Atash. Atash, Berezo, Savanga, Atash, Wofrayan. Berezo, Savanga is something like an exalted fire. The way we say Barjor as a name, Barjor, Burzin, Burjis, those are the Parsi names that we have. It's related to other Atash, Berezo, Savanga. It's an exalted kind of fire which burns on its own at the mountain top. And then Atash, Wofriya. When I talked about Atashniya, is the fire within our belly. That is Atash Vohpriya. Voh means the fire of good friend, which means what we have in our body. And that Atash Vohpriya will require food and water for our sustenance. Then we talk about Atash Urvajish. Urvajish means Urvar. Urvar or a plant. Plant also need water for sustenance. So there's the fire Atash Urvajish. Atash Vajish is the lightning, fire of lightning in the sky. And Atash Spanish is what we find in each of our Atash Boram and Atash Adaran. So the Afrin talks about the praise of each of these artists, what Dada Ramazda is given to us. I'll just take one more paragraph from Afrin Ardaf Ravash. Very nice, it has a very good meaning. It talks of Faroki Atar Ravan, Oy Anushe, Ke Ajin, Gaiti Sijman, Vesh Dard, Vapur Dard, Anyare, Minuan, Akhan, Asej, Apatyar Frataraf. So what it talks of is related to our aging population. Um, if you visit any of the Pasi General Hospital, Masina Hospital, and you find the senior citizens lying in bed, 80 years, 85 years of age, and they have nobody to talk to. They are subjected to so much of pain due to the prick of the needles, pain due to intravenous, and it's like they don't have too many. I mean, in current times, we see so many Zoroastrians who have migrated. The younger generation migrated abroad, and they are left at the mercy of servants. So these people, they are very distraught. They have emotional strain, they have financial strain, and they just want to end their life. They don't have too many friends to come and meet and talk to them. So here it is talking that once they pass away from this material world, there is a much better world for them in the spiritual existence. So that's the mention in Afrin Ardaf Ravash. I move on to the next Afrin, which is Afrin Buzorg. Afrin Buzorg is a very small prayer, and it is more of benediction. It is also part of our wedding ceremony, Afrin Buzorgan. And here it talks of the various qualities of stalwarts of yesteryears, the kings. There is a mention about various kings and their qualities. And what Mobile Service would want to say during the Jashan ceremony is that may such qualities be given. May the supporters, may the sponsors imbibe those qualities in them so that they also become prosperous. So I have listed about 20, 25 odd. I'll just run through it quickly because of paucity of time. So it starts with Kamanjam, Bechun, Auramazda, Khodai, Pa, Damanekesh. And then Farok wa Pashumtar, Bechun, Kekashru. Kekashru was the Kayanian king. So, and his virtue was welcoming and greatness. So may you have those virtues picked up from King Kekashru. Then we talk of Khub Meher, Bechun, Mer Yazard. As we know, Mer Yazard stands for any kind of trust, truthfulness. So those kind qualities may we have in our home. And just I'll spend more time on this. Who did Betun Siavaksh? Who meaning good, and it means your didar. So who may each of us who are sponsoring and getting the jashan done at your place, may you have children who are as handsome, as good looking as Siavaksh. Who was Siavaksh? Siavaksh was from the Kayanian dynasty. Kekobat, Kekaus, Ke Siavaksh, and Kekushru. So father of Kekushru. Now, Siavash was the epitome of good looks. He was looking so handsome that his stepmother would fall for him. And then he had to prove his innocence by wading through a bed of fire, and he came unscathed because he was innocent. So there's the mention here. Then we talk of Bami Bechun Bijan. Bami means Bamda. Bamda time how we have the shining glory. So may the shining glory as a quality of Bejan, you may have those same qualities. Or Asho Bechun Vishtas Basa. Asho means Ashoyuta Vishtas Gushtas Shah. He has so much of holiness, Ashoy. So may those kind of holiness, Ashoy, come to you, come to the people in your house where the Jashan is done. Zorman and or Zavanvar Bechun Rustam means all kind of strength, physical strength of Sam Nariman, Rustam Pelwan. May you have those strength also. It talks about Rab Bechun Tishtar. Tishtar Tir corresponds to, for rain. And Rab means Radi or generosity. So may you be generous as Tishtar Tir. Or the next is Charva Bechun Varan. Charva means charbi or the sweetness. So sweetness of the rain. May you have those kind of quality within you. It talks about Vina Bechunkur. Vina means good looks of Khorshid Yazad. May you have those Vina. And Der Jivashni Bechun Zarwan Pasha. Zarwan Pasha stands for time, aging. So may you have a long, healthy life like Zarwan Pasha. So this, at least about 25 such qualities are mentioned in Afrin Buzur. And finally, what it talks of is may children be born into your family. Children with so many good qualities as more or less similar to what we find in Atash Nyayesh, so that they can hold aloft the uh, pride and prestige of their respective country and the community. Once Afrin Buzurgan is over, the last Afrin, what we pray is Afrin Hafta Ameshaspan or Afrin Hamkara. Hamkara stands for the 7 Ameshaspans. And in the first 7 paragraphs of Afrin Hafta Ameshaspan, there is a particular role which each of the Ameshaspans do to take care of we mankind. So they are fighting against the various set of enemies which Dada Rauramazda is allocated to everyone. So Dada Rauramazda, the first paragraph we start as Hamazur Bad Hafta Keshwar Hamazurba Dada Roramasta Kudai Gurze Kore Avazaya Davasede Vispesham. That's the paragraph, and then there is a paragraph for every Ameshaspan. So Dada Roramasta the fights along with his co-workers against Angre Mainu, wicked Angre Mainu. Same way for Bamman Ameshaspan, Bamman or Vohuman. The opposite is Akoman. Akoman means evil mind. So Bamman Ameshaspan along with its co-workers or Hamkaras, that is Bamman, Mor, Goshram, they fight for the benefit of we human beings. They fight the Akoman. Akoman means bad thoughts, bad mind. And by extension, Akoman leads to Ashma. Ashma means bad temper. Once you have a bad mind, you will have bad temper. And then it is Taromaiti. So those are the enemies of Bamman Ameshaspan. When it comes to Adibesh Ameshaspan largely is responsible for fire. So it will take care of the chilling winter to help mankind. Sharevar Ameshaspan has his co-workers Sharevar, Khorshed, Mer, Asman, Aneran. And the enemy of Sharevar Ameshaspan, which Sharevar Ameshaspan fights, is Bushyaspa. Bushyanda, Bushyaspa is the word. And this Bushyaspa is the demon of laziness. Besi revo kai karvo nahi, sleepiness, procrastination. Aaj kar nahi kara, kal kare, so aaj karne badle ultu karvano, procrastination. So all those is stopped by Sharevar Ameshaspan. When it comes to Aspanda Rameshaspan, it talks about Asta Vahad. Asta means bone and Vahad means breaking. So any kind of bone injury that we have, that is taken care, prevented by Aspanda Rameshaspan. As we know, Khorda Rameshaspan is always taking care of water. So the thirst in human being, Ajay Divan, that Tarich wa Jarish Div is what we talk of in the prayer, Pazan prayer. So it talks about withstanding and overpowering the enemy of fever, an enemy of thirst in us. And same way, Amarda Rameshaspan again takes care of thirst and hunger in human being. And then once these 7 paragraphs are done with, we talk of praise of various mountains, various hills. We talk of Aurwan, Demavan Ko. We talk of Ushi Daren as the mountain. Then we talk of Aurwan, Revan, Me Parsin, Demavan, Then we talk of various lakes. Sea Vaurukasha is mentioned. Sea Vaurukasha is very dear to us, the Caspian Sea. It finds mention in various other prayers like Ava Yash or Teshtati Yash also. Two, three good liners which I picked up. Hamazor de dayu what Shahanshah, Hamazor Vazor Farmandar. What it says, Shahanshah means king of kings or the head priest. In our age of social media, the moment one does anything, be it good, bad, everything, it is just posted without any I mean, whether there is logic to it or not, people just post it and want to bring down people. So what it says is, Hamazor de dayu what Shahanshah means the king of kings, the high priest. Whatever that they are saying, please listen to them instead of just criticizing anything and everything. And it says, Hamazor Vazor Farmandar. Vazorg or Buzorg manas, the elderly people, if they are still telling us something, Farman, Farman, तो आपने just take it as it is. If there are problems, yes, so be it. They will elokona karma che, eloko e karse. But at least we should not keep criticizing whatever is being told to us by the uh, ministers or the kings or the trustees or the head priest. Okay. Various general things, praise of different Atash Adaran, Atash Peram, then again the worship of Kayanian kings, Peshtarian kings, remembering the souls, Pravashis, all that is mentioned here. Just to touch upon what is the difference between soul and Pravashi. So we have two different things. Soul is Ravan or Urvan that we say, and Farohar or Pravashi. Now there is essential difference between the two. The Farohar may do nothing wrong, while the soul actually it can do good thing or bad thing, but it is guided by the Farohar. So there's the essential difference. The soul may go wrong, but it is the conscience of the Farohar telling the soul to stop, okay, don't do such bad things. So that's the difference. Yeah. As I said in the beginning, there are various reasons for calling for a jashan. It could be a happy occasion, so we are calling for a jashan. There could be a lot of problems within our family, hence we want ke bhai panoti che germa beseli, so let us have a jashan done. So there is a direct mention of all this, what Mobile Sahibs are praying and the blessings. It talks of Ramashni, wa Shadi, wa Padgani, wa Neki, as to a Nimroz under Ayat. And then it says Darda, Bimari, Va Dushkari, Vanaki, Vastaki, Harvespa. So it talks of may all kind of joy, happiness, good things, fortune, all this may come to this house where the prayers are done. And Vimari, or here it is called as Vimari, but it is your Bimari, the sickness. So sickness or any kind of problem areas, disorder, injustice, may all day go away from this house where the Jashan is being done. And then it talks about the various qualities of the leaders that we want, the rulers. It talks of Vehan Patshabed, Vattaran Apatshabed. Vehan means good. So may only the good people become the rulers of any country. And Vattar, the way say Vattar Manas. So Vattaran Apatshabed means the bad people, they should never become rulers and ruin the country. And by extension, it also talks of Dana Patshabad and Dush Dana Apatshabad. Dana means Danak. Danak means Chalak, intelligence walo, wisdom walo, knowledgeable. So only the knowledgeable should become rulers. And urban manasone, kotta illiterate manasone, we should not make the rulers. So Dush Dana Apatshabad is what we are talking of. And then again the wishes. As I said, I have encompassed about 128. So just a few last wishes. Uh, there are 4 lines. Kera vesh avayat vesh bad. Kera ve avayat ve bad. Kera zan avayat zan bad. And kera farzan avayat farzan bad. Vesh means ઘણું બધું. મને ઘણું બધું કઈ જોઈએ. તો જેને ઘણું બધું કઈ જોઈતું હોય, મેં એ લોકોને મળી જાય. કેરા વેશ આવયત વેશ બાદ. કેરા વે આવ. If you want good things in life, goodness, that is way. આપણે બેદિન કરીને કહીએ. બેદિન means good people of the religion, that is બેદિન. So વે આવયત વે બાદ. જેને goodness ને બધી સારી ચીજ જોઈએ, may they get that. કેરા zan avayat zan બાદ. If you are a single person, if the family calls for a jashan કે મારો દીકરો જલ્દી પન્ની જાય, દીકરી પન્ની જાય. So we are talking of a life partner. So જેને zan જોઈતું હોય, તો તેને ઝન જલ્દી આવી જાય. And once they marry and get united, the couple would want to start a family. So the last sentence is kera farzan avayat farzan bar, which means once you want to start a family, you would yearn for a child from the other Auramazda. So farzan magyu to farzan tamone mali jai. That's what we are talking of. And now the last concluding session that I would want. People have come from far off. Uh, we have traveled. We know the kind of traffic that we have within the city of Mumbai, or you have traveled from so far. And some year there you should have watched the whole episode today. But yes, you wanted to come here, be part of the Jashan ceremony. So what it talks when the Mobir Sahib, Dasturji and all the other Mobir Sahib, they start playing the concluding paragraph. It is Damman Kepain Miasda, Fraj Rashid Han, as in Mias Bher Amadan, Bher Garaftan is what they talk. So what they are saying is, for every step that you have taken to come all the way from wherever you are to Radio Club, for this step and for the efforts that you have put in, Dada Rauramazda will grant you 1200 steps. અહીંયા તો આપણે એક પર એક ફ્રીની વાત કરીએ. Here we are talking of 1200 additional steps that you all will get to reach that Garotman base. So that's a very nice gesture. And then the regular things that may there be lot of merits, and may our material world will be good and our spiritual world will always be excellent, and may we have a long life, happy life. Atha zamiyad yatha afrinami. That's how we conclude the Damman Ke Pain. So that's almost the end of my presentation. I just want to acknowledge a few members. Thank you. So I'll start with my alma mater, Dada Rathoda Institute. My principal, Edward Rustam Ji Pantaki. My Bunter teacher, Edward Barjor Ji, Ratan Ji Pantaki. My reverend uncle, late Edward Dr. Soli Pirot Shah Dastur. Thank you, Dasturji Khurshid and Mr. Kersi Limatwala again for allowing me to showcase and become the keynote speaker today. Thank you. Edward Dr. Parvez Baja and Edward Dr. Ramir Karanjia, who are my gurus in my quest for spiritual knowledge. My family, Monas, my children, all my friends. I see so many well-wishers who have come, who have accepted my invitation and come here. My friends, thank you all very much. Thank you to the entire audience for listening to me. Thank you very much. I just have a few. I just thodu humor banawa. I just have a few questions, a very simple questions, and if you wish to volunteer and answer, maybe you can get some return gift also. I have Zahan and my team of volunteers. He can go around. You can pick up a cheat, whatever the question. If you can answer that, maybe you can get a return gift. Sir, 5 minutes.
State.
नहीं तो और है जहान में any raise of hands, so Zahan can come. Backside people, front side, wherever Zahan can come, and you have to just pick up and answer. If you answer correctly, you'll get a gift. Question बोली जान मोटे थी.
Please read the question.
The question is, how many Gambar do we have? And name them. To my knowledge, there are 7 Gambars are there. The name I don't remember exactly.
Wrong क्यों उसने?
Huh?
बीजा आपी दे next.
There are 6 Gambars are there.
વૈષ્ટો ગાથા થઈ ગયો સાહેબ, ગંભાર નથી તે. નહીં ઇનકરેક્ટ છે. જાન મૂવ ટુ નેક્સ્ટ. કોઈને બીજાને પૂછવું હોય તો. જાન તમે રીડ કરી લો મોટેથી.
Okay, so the question is, name the trusted minister of King Gustavus who sniffed the rose after Jashan ceremony, due to which he was able to see the past and visualize the future.
ಐವಂತೆ તો પૂછો ಐವಂತ આન્સર આપવા કે છે આંટી હુટોક્ષી આંટી.
Can I give the answer?
હા
I know the answer.
એવન ને એવન આંટી
Demas. Jamas, Jamas.
बोलिए तो प्राइज आप ही रहे हो. ओके, जल्दी नेक्स्ट पिकअप करो, वी आर रनिंग शॉर्ट ऑन टाइम.
So the question is, explain the phrase, who did Bechon Shyavaks? Who did Bechon Shyavaks?
बेप्सी आंटी ने पूछो तो बेप्सी आंटी बोल से.
सवाल बोलो ने. सवाल श्यावक्सना जेवा सुंदर
Mic, please.
श्यावक्सना जेवा सुंदर चेहरा.
Is anyone else ready to answer a question? Yes, please go right ahead quickly. Last question.
Which prayer is recommended to be recited at the time of one's passing away? Ashem Bau Vestamasti Usta Asti Usta Maya Deshai Vesayashem.
Rise up here. Correct. Now, are we ready for the vote of thanks? Okay. So, friends, we are extremely grateful to Vada Dasturji Sahib and other Mobit Sahibs for performing the Jashan ceremony. We say a big thank you to Ervat Cyrus Darbari for his interesting talk. We have welcomed other trustees, but Viraf Mehta came thereafter. He has gone. Okay. We thank all donors for their financial support. We thank all our volunteers, including Perin Bathena, Kobat Giwala, Ajay, Zubin Billemoria. We thank the Union Press for printing that prayer page. We thank every single one of you present here today, especially for staying till the very end. And we thank the management of the Radio Club. We thank everyone who has helped with the organization of this function. We have yummy eatables put up by the Radio Club over there. We have some very interesting clothes at the other stall over there. I personally thank my friend Ruby Vacha, to whom I requested 2 minutes before the function started to please take down notes so that we can submit a press report. She very graciously agreed. Thank you, Ruby. We thank our photographer. We thank Sabrina Aga, who has come here from Canada. She's in the process of making a documentary in which she's going to give this event some publicity. And thank you, fellow Zoroastrians, for being with us here today. Please come again next year. Let's rise for Chaye Hame Jartosti. It is recorded, but I want everyone to join in the singing. Thank you.
Chaye hame jartosti, premaste yasmine, kunja saate dosti, raake nibhagete, mujhi jabarra tolo, samvelano sangha, premolo vada polo. तेरी समरनेया ओ तो कन्यारी ओ जन्माशु ओ संसर्ग मासाची देवातु कायम जालोजी शुद्ध चो
And now, since this is a public function, we will end with Jana Gana Mana. Can you play that?
गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता
सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे
Good night, everybody. We wish us all tandarusti. Thank you.